They called him the perfect American dream. Marcus Hayes, the boy from the projects who climbed his way to the glass towers of success. The man who had everything and lost it all one night when truth walked in uninvited. They said Marcus had it all figured out. At 30, he was the youngest vice president at Liddell Tech, a multi-billion-dollar company shaping the future of artificial intelligence. He had the penthouse, the Tesla, the tailored suits. But behind that winning smile was a man haunted by where he came from. He didn't grow up in penthouses. He grew up where sirens were louder than bedtime stories, and ambition was a language only a few dared to speak. His mom raised him and his brother Bobby alone, working 2 jobs. Marcus had promised himself, one day I'll make it out, and he did. But in making it out, he forgot how to look back. At the venue, crowd sounds could be heard, glasses clinking, soft jazz. That night, Marcus got his big promotion. The champagne flowed like water. His colleague and close friend Emily Stanford, the CEO's daughter, smiled at him. "You earned this, Marcus. You're proof that hard work pays off." Marcus smiled back, but inside, something about those words felt heavy. Because he knew it wasn't just hard work. It was survival. It was the long nights, the missed meals, the fear of failure that most people in that room had never tasted. Yet Marcus played along, the perfect corporate star, the symbol of diversity done right. After the party, Marcus and Emily went to a private members-only club downtown, the kind where millionaires laughed over cigars and waiters moved like ghosts. Marcus, dressed sharp as always, walked toward the VIP exit. A tall white security guard stepped in front of him. "Sir, that door's for members only." Marcus frowned. "I am a member." The guard tilted his head, unimpressed. "Then show me your badge." Emily rushed over. "He's with me." The guard hesitated. "Oh, my apologies. Ma'am." Marcus didn't say a word. He walked past, but his chest burned. The applause from earlier that night? It didn't matter anymore, because for a moment the world reminded him that no matter how high he climbed, some people only saw his color. And what Marcus didn't know was that someone had recorded the entire thing, and by morning, the video would be everywhere. The clip hit the internet like wildfire. Black executive profiled at elite club. Everyone had an opinion. Marcus's inbox flooded with sympathy, outrage, and silence from the company board. When Marcus entered the office the next day, the stares told him everything. The board wanted the story gone. "Marcus," his boss whispered, "this could hurt the company image." Lay low. Don't make statements, but how do you stay quiet when the truth screams in your face? That night, Marcus drove to his old neighborhood for the first time in years. Bobby was leading a community meeting about police profiling. Marcus stood in the back, invisible. When Bobby spotted him, he smiled. "Look who decided to remember his roots." Marcus chuckled awkwardly. "Just checking in, little bro." "We could use your voice here," Bobby said. "Not up there." Marcus didn't reply. Days later, Marcus was summoned by the CEO, Charles Stanford, Emily's father. "Marcus, you're brilliant," he said, leaning back in his leather chair. "But your story's hurting our brand right now. I've got a way for you to fix it." He slid a folder across the table. Inside were plans for a redevelopment project, the same district Marcus grew up in. "We'll make it a flagship diversity initiative," Charles continued. "You'll be the face of it." Cameras, smiles, ribbon cutting, good PR for everyone. Marcus stared at the papers, a tech campus built on the ashes of his old neighborhood, where thousands would be displaced. "Sir," Marcus said slowly, This would wipe out homes. Charles smiled coldly. That's progress, son. People adapt in that moment, Marcus realized. The people who built his success had no problem burning others to keep their power. Meanwhile, Detective Jamie Alvarez had her eyes on the same company. Rumors of illegal labor contracts and zoning fraud had reached her desk. She'd been investigating Lidell Tech quietly for months. And now, with Marcus's name tied to the project, the case had teeth. That evening, Marcus found her card slipped under his apartment door. "Mr. Hayes," it read, "we need to talk." When he met her at a downtown diner, she wasted no time. "You're leading a project that's built on illegal deals," she said, flipping open a file. "People are being displaced, paperwork is forged, and it all traces back to your boss." Marcus's jaw tightened. "You're saying I'm part of this?"
Yep.
"I'm saying you can either be the fall guy or the whistleblower."
Yep.
Marcus stared at her for a long moment. "What would you do, Detective?"
Yep.
She smiled faintly. "I'd tell the truth. Even if it cost me everything." Marcus returned to the office, heart pounding. Emily was waiting by his desk, nervous. "Marcus, my father's under pressure," she said. "He just needs you to follow the plan until this blows over." "Blows over?" Marcus snapped. "People are losing homes, Emily." She looked down. "You don't understand how this world works." "Maybe you don't," Marcus replied. He stormed out. That night, he couldn't sleep. Every decision, every compromise, every time he stayed silent, it all came rushing back. He knew what he had to do. The next morning, Marcus stood on stage at the official launch of the New Horizon project. The mayor was there, reporters, TV crews. Emily stood to his right. Her father, Charles, beaming in the front row. Marcus took a deep breath, stepped up to the podium, and looked out over the flashing lights. "Today," he began, "I was supposed to tell you about progress. But progress that buries people isn't progress at all." Gasps ripple through the crowd. "The project you see here," he continued, "is built on exploitation, lies, and greed, and I refuse to be a part of it." Charles Stanford shot up from his seat. "Marcus, that's enough." "No, sir," Marcus said calmly. "It's just the beginning." He turned to the cameras. "Detective Alvarez has all the evidence. The people deserve to know." Crowd erupts. Reporters swarm. Emily covers her mouth in shock. In seconds, the live broadcast spread everywhere. Within hours, the boardroom empire began to crumble. Marcus lost his job, his penthouse, his reputation. Social media turned the hero into the villain. But he didn't regret a thing. Detective Alvarez's investigation led to arrests. City officials, developers, and yes, Charles Stanford himself. Emily disappeared from the spotlight, and Marcus went back home. 1 year later, the old neighborhood looked different, but not erased. The community center now stood where a demolition site had been planned. Marcus volunteered there alongside his brother Bobby. "Never thought I'd see you back here for good," Bobby said with a grin. Marcus chuckled. "Guess I had to lose everything to remember what matters." Emily showed up one afternoon, humbler, wearing jeans instead of silk. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "You were right." Marcus nodded. "We all learned somehow." Together, they worked quietly, rebuilding what greed tried to destroy. Marcus once believed success meant standing at the top, but he learned that sometimes true success is standing with others. The club that rejected him closed. The system that used him exposed. The community he forgot forgave him. And in a world obsessed with image and power, Marcus Hayes found peace in something far greater: Integrity. Because at the end of the day, the higher you climb without purpose, the harder you fall without warning. But when you rise again, this time with truth, no one can take that from you. This story reminds us, racism and class may divide us, but courage and conscience unite us. Sometimes standing up for what's right means standing alone, but it's better to fall with integrity than rise with corruption. I'm your narrator, and this was When the Privileged Fall. Please subscribe to watch our next inspiring story.